All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's House Edge Live with John from Pro Craps on Casino Gaming TV. And here we go. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day already. My God, this week is flying by. It's flying by, I think, because I'm working so damn much. I'm working with Casino Quest. And the funny thing is, they always say, when you love your job, it isn't like going to work. Building this app to basically recreate what I did at Casino Gaming TV with the roll logger and the session logger and the bank, all that stuff into a nice, awesome little phone app has been a lot of fun. But I'm putting in like 13, 14 hours a day just because anyway, I'm tired. Days go flying by. It's crazy. Anyway, here we go. I got a bunch of stuff on the docket today. We're going to play craps, of course, like I always do here, but I got a bunch of other things to kind of get through. So why don't we jump on into it and see where this takes us. And by the way, hopefully today's is a good chat day. I have lots of things that I'm hoping that you guys can kind of join in with me on. So here we go. Starting things off with our talking about the bridge here, as I do every day. And the reason why I start with this little quick segment is to remind you that this is a gambling channel. I do show you strategies. We talk about winning and losing and that kind of thing. So do every other craps and roulette channel that you guys watch, right? And it's important to filter what you see through the lens of your own little pie chart, right? Like what kind of bankroll do you have, right? Can you use it as leverage in what you're seeing, right? Does your risk let you play what you're seeing, right? What you're seeing somebody demonstrate. Can you identify when it's time to leave or when it's time to lean in? Do you have discipline? All these things matter because as you're watching craps YouTube and roulette YouTube, it's easy to get kind of sucked in to the easy. Like, oh, that's going to be easy. I can totally do that, right? Or let's give that a shot. And it's easy to watch somebody win every single time and go, oh, I can totally do that. You can't, especially if you're not ready for it, right? Mentally prepared, the right bankroll and all that stuff. You're going to get planked hard at the casino if you don't have those basic little bridge concepts down, understanding how all these things play a role in your life. Because if you don't, what happens is you become a worse gambler, right? You become a bad gambler. Let's just say that. And you can take the house edge of a game like craps from 1.5% to 16 or 20% just by playing not incorrectly, but playing without control and without knowledge. Right. So it's important, I think, to dial into that stuff. So, all right, what's happening up here? We have Crash for the Cure coming up on my birthday weekend, September 13th and 14th. Likely the last Crash for the Cure live event. Not sure about that, but I'll tell you, it's been a labor of love the last 5 years doing this thing, but it's a lot of work. And quite frankly, if for me and for the crew, right, there's a ton that goes on behind the scenes, and it unless it's a full-time job, it's not a full-time job, right? So it's like it's hard to give it the 24 hours a day that it needs, right? And I'm feeling like I don't know. We'll see, but it feels like this is probably going to be the crescendo of it. We're going to pay these dogs off this year, and maybe that'll be the swan song. We'll see. Beyond that, the next thing on my schedule is the Dice Cruise in February. So if you want to be on that, drop me an email, john@procraps.net. In fact, use that email for anything. You can email me all the time, whenever you want to. All right. Let's see. Crash the Cure, I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this. We have the thermometer here. We're at 1% so far. We just got started, right? We have now you can buy your tickets for the event online. The dog funding page is now up. Go to crapsforthecure.com. You can see there's a link right there that says pay for training. Go there. You can buy the dog food. You can buy the collars. You can buy the Chuck It toys. You can buy the training treats. It ranges from $15 to $100, things you can buy for the dogs. These literally will go directly into the dogs. The dogs, I think they have different accounts for them, and the money just goes right to the dog. It goes like literally right into the dog's mouth. So buy that stuff now. Maybe we can get to the event in September and have all the items that we need for the dogs pre-bought, and we're just paying for the training hours, right? That'd be great. So get to crashthecure.com, and we'll watch this thermometer kind of grow on our way into September 12th weekend. All right. So there's that. If you want more information, of course, always email me, john@procraps.net, or you can use our Discord channel as well. You are seeing the Midmo Yo logo there on the left-hand side of our screen today. Craig from Old Bay Craps reminded us yesterday in our group chat that today is the 2-year anniversary when Chiro passed. Now, I don't have that in my calendar. I need to add that to my contact record for Chiro. But I do want to call Chiro out. And I know some of you are newer to the channel and maybe don't remember his channel, right? There's his channel. It's MidmoYo5837 on YouTube. Just search for MidmoYo on YouTube. You'll find him. He's got a few hundred videos out there, and they're interesting. Chiro was not a high-tech guy. I'll just say that. But he loved craps, and he loved all of us. And he was just a great guy. I loved his Here's the Deal series that he would do. He would basically go and ask some random question about something he saw at a craps day. Hey, I saw a guy do this. What would you do? Here's the deal, kind of thing. And I love that part of his channel. He was always trying to do something to kind of be engaging and trying to do live streams, and just a great dude. He passed away, and this is the Here's the Deal for today. He passed away a couple years ago, and I still have the text messages. I still have, I'll never delete them. I have a text string between he and I on my phone from, of course, forever, but that day in specific. And what happened was he had a heart issue. He was a big guy. He was a short and big man. And he had a heart issue. And he went, and I forget what time of day it was. I want to say it was the morning. He went to the hospital, and he's like, I just don't feel right, And he went in and he wrote me like, I'm just not feeling good, and I'm like my chest feels heavy. And he went into the hospital, and they sent him back home. He lives in a small town in Missouri, and they sent him back home, and they gave him whatever they gave him, and they will keep an eye on things, and they sent him home. And later in the day, he wrote me, he said, man, I really feel like shit. And he had his wife call, and they actually medevaced him, and they went back to the hospital. It got worse. They medevaced him, and he wrote me a text message from the helicopter, right? And a selfie from the helicopter. Like, that's Chiro, right? And he's like, dude, I'm in a helicopter, I'm freaking out. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. And this goes back to when my dad passed away last year too. I always feel like doctors got you. I know that's not always the case, but like when my dad, he had a AAA. And when he went to the hospital, my wife's like, okay, he's fine. He's there now, but they got him in the hospital. They got it figured out. Chiro, we thought the same thing. He gets to the hospital. He's in the helicopter. They got it figured out. They'll take care of him. And they did surgeries, and he just kept declining after surgery. Never woke up. He woke up, I think, for like a few minutes one day, and never came out of it. And it was just like an unnecessary thing. It's one of these things where I think, had he been at the hospital earlier that day and stayed there, had they recognized what he was going through in the morning, he wouldn't have had the helicopter ride, 8 hours later and passed. Right. And it took him a week, by the way. He was in a coma for a week. So here's the thing. My dad had a AAA. We think Chiro had the AAA, same thing, the aneurysm kind of thing. I had a heart attack when I was young. Go check yourselves out. This is the yearly reminder. Go get checked. Like, we're all old. Most of us are old, right? Male and female. We have diabetes. We have, maybe some of us have cancer, right? We have all these things, right? You cannot go often enough to get your blood pressure checked, your blood viscosity checked, right? Your sugar checked, your liver checked, all those things, right? Get your cancer screenings, get your PSAs done, get your colon checked out, everybody. So we lost Chiro too young. We lost my dad too young. Other people we know are fighting cancer. We're all leaving this world too early. We almost lost my brother a few weeks back, right? For not a health reason, but something crazy. It's just too damn short, right? So let's use this day to remember that, right? Remember Chiro, who's a great guy, one of my best friends in the crafts world, and remember to keep ourselves at the forefront. Take care of yourselves, all right? That's my message. The damn small hospital sent him home, right? And I think they just weren't equipped, right, to know what to do. But in that case, they really should have pushed it up. We all know this, right? You asked me that. I'll never forget you and your wife, Skill, in the back restaurant of that place, asking like, why didn't they take care of him? You know what I mean? Why did they? And I don't know. I don't have the answer, man. I wish they would have kicked it up the ladder a little bit and got him to St. Louis, right, a little faster than they did. It's unfortunate, but for us, the lesson, right, is, yeah, keep yourself. And here's California Crabs Cliff Run, right? Keep Jeff and his girlfriend in our prayers, right? They're fighting it too, right? They're fighting right now in the present, right? Get yourselves checked. You cannot get yourselves checked enough. Trust me, but the older we get, every 6 months, right? Be on the rhythm. Be on the rhythm of being at your doctor regularly. It's just it goes away too fast, and the older we get, the faster it can happen for us, right? Let's just make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. All right. So that's my Chiro moment. I love you, man. I miss you so much. And like I said, here's the deal, dude. Okay. Now, last night I wasn't there live. I almost can't be there live anymore on their shows because the way that the timing works here. But Jeff Mack and Gargoyle did their dice tossing technique show last night. It's on the Mid Atlantic Craps channel. It's a great channel. Obviously, Jeff's one of my best friends. Good show last night. And what they did was, hey, wait till this is here. So they did a whole show last night. Gargoyle broke down the par toss and the on-axis toss. And it's kind of the same thing, but it's really not. And I think you brought up some really great points, and I want to address some of them because I think it bears repeating what he said. Okay, now remember, the par toss is the original. I don't have real dice in this room, but I can do my Yahtzee dice demo, right? The original par toss, right, was you get your dice, you square up, a little bit of backswing, a little bit of go, right? The on-axis toss is from the deck, and it's a go, right? That's the principal difference of those two tosses. And he was kind of going through some of the mechanical things. And look at all the variance that's in here. And he used this word a lot last night, which is great. Like the variance of this, there's a lot of variance in how you throw the dice to reduce the variance of the dice when they land, right? There's the grip, there's a swing or not. There's velocity, there's the release point, there's the angle at which you're letting everything go. And there's, of course, the landing zones, right? All these things, right, sort of combine into this perfect toss. The principal difference between the two toss types, honestly, and again, there's a little more nuance than this, but it's the presence of a backswing or not. And I think Gargoyle is of the mind that you don't do a backswing, right? I think that the way that Heavy teaches it, again, no backswing, pick the grip, pick it up, and you're off the deck. There's pros and cons to both of those. And I think from a kinesiology standpoint, now again, I used to teach baseball, obviously as a coach, right? I played golf most of my life. I played hockey most of my life. And there's no time in golf. Like you don't put the putter right next to the ball and just go, right? You never start an inch from the ball and just move it forward. Although that does ensure that the putter is going to be straight without variance. It does ensure that your follow through is going to be pretty much straight without the curve that a swing creates, right? But you always backswing into the ball. You always backswing your full golf swing into the ball. You always backswing in baseball into the ball. You don't start a baseball swing with your bat out in front and just hit the ball, right? There's reasons for that. And hockey is the one difference. Hockey, there is a slap shot. There's also in hockey a shot called a snap shot where you're right there and you just let it go. It's all wrist, right? There are pros and cons to this thing. And I want Gargoyle, hopefully he's watching today. If not, he can watch later on and call me at home and yell at me. I'll make a point for the backswing for some people, okay? Your body, whether you know it or not, wants to be square. And I say this as a coach, right? Coaching all the sports. Your body wants to be square. If you just stood up, I'll do it here. I'll stand up. If I stand up, right, and I lean over, right, I know my camera's kind of jacked, right? I'm facing the camera the wrong. But if you did lean over, right, your body's not going to be over here, right? It's not going to be over here. It's going to be straight. Your arms are going to be straight. Everything wants to be straight. And what happens is when you swing, right, even if you're all crooked and effed up, when you come through, there's going to be a point in time where your body straightens itself out and it's going to be perfectly square to the ball or whatever else. That's why, like in golf, if you want to have a little draw or fade, you line your feet up a little bit differently, and you're actually lining up. You're squaring your body to a target that's a half an inch or maybe a small degree off right or left. So when you come through and you square up, you're squared up to that point, and then your grip creates spin on the ball and it turns it in, right? That's how you get a draw or fade. Dice the same thing. The backswing, when you come through, your body will naturally square itself up and be perfectly straight at the point that it's in front of you. It's your job in that swing to keep that going and not swing like in a curve, like I'm trying to do like your swing from back. Now you're square and then you curve off, right? And that's what he was saying. A lot of times people use their arms, they'll curve, dice one to the corner. If you can keep that straightness through the swing a little longer, that's the par toss, right? Come back and get through. What else a swing does is it creates consistent velocity and momentum. When you come back 2 inches or 3 inches or 12 inches and come through, right, you're going to get this consistency of speed, right? It's a way to make sure that when I come back 12, I always come through and always coming through at 1.5 miles an hour or whatever that is. That's how golf works, right? In golf, right, you come, and I was taught in golf as you come back 1 inch per foot. They taught me when I putted, right? If it's a 6-foot putt, you come back 6 inches, you create just enough momentum, and at the point of contact, you're square, and then you're through, right? That's the par toss. The par toss wants you to create consistent momentum, square up, and kind of bang through. The on-axis toss that starts from the deck starts stable. You're already squared. You remove the variance of getting square, and you are square. So you go straight through, right? The hard part of that, what I've struggled with that, is creating the correct velocity from that point, because you're starting from a zero, and you got to go from zero to perfect velocity without any momentum carrying you there. You got to be in control of that. You got to be like here to here, and there's the release, right? You got to get your velocity perfect. That's where the mechanics come in that I think are hard to replicate. Now, with my chopper toss, you can't come back and go through because you'll end up releasing your dice here instead of here. So there's a difference to that. So I think that's the difference between the two, right? The main difference, and I think you got to experiment as a person, right? What's comfortable. If you cannot get consistent velocity from a standstill and just go boom and get it right, then the swing might help you create that rhythm. You got to be careful though, like Gargoyle said last night, of when you swing through, if you let your arm go here, you're going to be in the hook or the corner with your dice. Your arm's got to stay straight through it, right? And use your elbow to sort of keep that pivot point straight and your hand and wrist straight. So all that said, fascinating to watch Gargoyle do the throw. And he brought up a great thing, right? Which was like the release point. And I think he said how Ed does it, right? He's like, when you watch Ed throw, he's here at the deck and he'll release the dice here and his hand keeps going. The dice are already gone. They're already flowing. And then, like, if you watch a golf shot, right? Like the guy swings and it's boom, right? And when he hits the ball's already gone. The ball's 50 feet down the fairway and you're still here in your swing, but you follow through. Nobody goes, bam, and stops. You just don't do that, right? It creates chaos when you do that. You need that follow through to get through. And this is the same thing, right? Your grip, whether you start it stable or start it here, right? It's the release and the follow through. That follow through keeps you on momentum. Wherever your hands end up, the dice are going to go, right? Like in hockey, we say it all the time in hockey. Hockey's a different sport than the other two so much, because golf, it's a complete follow through. In putting, you do follow through straight. But in hockey, we used to tell the guys, you take your swing, right, and you go wham, and you end up here, right? You always end up, your stick is pointing. You can bet if your mechanics were good at contact, when you release the puck, the end of your stick is pointing. The puck's going to be, you can follow a string to it. That's where the puck is going, right? This is the same thing, right? When you release the dice, wherever your hand is, you can probably point your finger out. You can release and point your finger. Guaranteed the dice are going to be right there. So if you went around the horn like this, your dice are going to go into the hook, right? So that's the thing. That's where I get you to. So love the breakdown, love the show. And the thing about Gargoyle that I like the most, besides the fact that he's an awesome guy, is the history of it. I love hearing the history of how Patterson and those guys came up with the toss, why they did what they did, and then why Heavy changed it. right? And what was the difference? And the way the grips were, I think it's fantastic to listen to the history theory and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. Now, Gargoyle says this is a great point. I disagree with that. In all things I mentioned, I'm trying to hit an object so the backswing is warranted. In this case, the object is already in your hand, and you're correct about that. And again, what I say is the backswing to me is what gets me. I would use a backswing to make sure that my speed is right. The rhythm is correct, right? When you're going here and here, every time through, it's the same speed, right? You create rhythm, right, in your approach, and the speed becomes the same, and then you get square and you can go. If you're just starting from here, you got to create your own speed perfectly from a stop every time. Now, again, throw 1,000 dice a day, you'll get that. You'll get that exact thing. It's harder to do, I think, to get your speed right from here, from a dead standpoint, than to have momentum into it and the same rhythmic momentum. Although you're right, that does add an element of variance to it, because you're probably going to, when people, it's hard to do it when you're going to swing backwards. Most people swing back like on an angle and they come through like a curve, like this, instead of going like this. So that's the difference for it. I hope that all makes sense. All right. I think so. In my head, it makes sense. I don't know. Throwing darts, but still, when you throw darts, you have a backswing. Like, nobody throws darts, I don't think, from a straight stop, right? At least when I throw darts, I'm like here, and I'm back and I'm through, and I'm back and I'm through, right? So there's a little bit of backswing. And again, the same thing. You come through and you're square. At some point, you're square, and that's when the release happens, right? It's that point of being square that's hard. And I think in golf or hockey or darts, great analogy, right? Or dice tossing, right? You want to release at the squarest point you can so that the dice do fly exactly straight. And that's really hard to do. This is why you practice. That's why we have the big mechanics, right? Data says no on this. I'll tell you what, DI makes a difference, I think, mentally. I was talking to Ed and Tenton about this, right? DI to me, and Gargoyle, again, is the person who really kind of, I think, frames this the best. It's a mental game, right? You talk about rhythm, right? It's like, here come the dice are out, and they give you the dice. And to me, it's like, okay, a little breath. I actually suck in a little bit, set them, get my hand on it, exhale, and go. It's the rhythm of it that I think gets me centered. Just like in golf, the waggle, the waggle, the waggle, and the go. That keeps me centered into the shot. I think DI is the same kind of thing, right? If it works, what you're doing is you're reducing the variance at the end, right? Instead of having the dice go for sure all over the place, maybe they can for sure go not quite so much all over the place. You can reduce a little bit of that. We'll see, right? I believe you're doing something, for sure. Let's see. G says, I'm trying to throw an object as soft as I can for a distance of 6 feet. How much aggressive? I don't want to be aggressive, right? I want to be rhythmic, right? So to me, the rhythm of it is, I know if I come back 10 inches, come through 10 inches, I can create the same speed every time, whether it's a little bit of speed or if I need a lot of speed, because I'm at 6, 2 or 3, right? Whatever it is, I think that the pendulum gives you rhythm, right? As you're learning that. Now, again, I'm not advocating for or against this. I can just see why the rhythm matters, why it works for me, or why I think it works, why you can get into a good, consistent speed every single time, versus here, it can be random every single time. Like your speed, you're starting from 0 all the time, and you got to thread the needle each time with your speed. You reduce variance on one end because you're not injecting the angles, but you introduce a new variant, which is, I have to generate perfect speed from a stop. So again, it's practicing, right? And that's what it comes down to. Regardless, the debate's fun. It was a great show, and I think Gargoyle does a good job of presenting all the pros and cons, but also, like I said, the history of it. I think understanding why these guys did that and how the interplay with the back wall works. To me, it's fascinating stuff, and I love to watch it all. So, you can't be too aggressive. You can't break the smoke. That's pretty funny. All right. So, if the rules of golf would like to connect the ball to the club, would you still? Yes, I think you would. I think because think about it in golf. If you had, I wish there was a way to analogize this, but if you had, how do I say this right? Let's say you had I don't have a stick in here, right? But if I had, I'll use my pen, right? If you had the ball attached to the end of your stick, your golf club, right? And you did your backswing and you just were able to go here and come through and press a button and the ball just left the head of your stick, right? You would never, it'd be hard to do that because you have to be timed perfectly, right? The ball being stable means when you come through to it, you hit it at the point that you're square, right? The golf swing is designed to get you square at point of contact. Here we don't have that, right? There's no point of contact. You're always in contact with it, right? So it's all about the release at the right point. So it's come through and it's the release and come through. I'm doing, you can't see me, and the release, right? As you go through it, the timing is, it's a variant. You said it last night. The variant you create with having a backswing is timing of the release and also the spin of your elbow. When you're stable, you remove that part of the variant, but you're creating a new one, which is you have to come off the right speed. So again, for each their own, right? And that's why I say all these different toss types, it's to each their own. You've got to be comfortable in what you're doing and know that what I'm doing is repeatable for me. And that's what you got to lean into. And I think you make that point all the time, G, which is finding what's best for you from where you are on the table and having all the different throws in your back pocket, I think is cool, and finding the rhythm. So that's the thing. There's no right way to do it. Like I said, what to reduce the variance for you that's stable. And actually for the chopper toss, I do the same thing. I start stable, right? There's no variance there either. For some people, I think you need the backswing to reduce or to get the velocity correct. And this removes the velocity variant, but it adds an angle variant. So anyway, whatever you'd like to do, good conversations. I think it's good to watch. I love that series. I love getting the history of these throws and watching them all. It reminds me of how complicated this freaking game is, right? And again, let's remember that all that said, you can't do shit if you can't bet, right? That's what William always says. You can't win if you can't bet. Here we go. Let's do our win one challenge today, okay? Again, this is the Ken Knows Gambling win one and walk challenge. We're going to win one bullet this week. We're going to try and do this challenge as a way to create discipline, to experience rhythm and variance at a table, to practice our money management, right? And stress test some of these strategies and see if they can recover from disasters, right? We're working this week on these 5: the Horseman, the Skill 66, the Duck and Cover, the Pass Line Parlay, and the Dallas Drawdown. We're going to give them each one crack, one rack, and a chance to win one bullet, win 20%. We're going to go 5 bullets in. We're going to try and win 1 bullet and get the heck out of Dodge. All right, here we go. Let's jump in. Give me a second to move my crap out of the way here. And let's see. That's got to go here. That's got to go here. I think I need to do a thing. Because now that's in the... Why is that in the way? I need to get this above that. It's going to take Chiro's note away, but I can't have it all on screen at the same time. So here we go. All right, we're going to work first on this one, the discipline. Maybe I can keep this right. Hold on. I want to get Chiro's logo on there. I think I can do it. Can I do that? Hey, there it is. All right, cool. All right. So we're going to work first the Horseman. Okay. And again, we've got 5 bullets. 5 bullets of 5 units. These can be blacks or reds or whatever you want to. We're using green chips today. We're going to try and win 5 units with it. Again, the Horseman is a 2-unit don't and 3 come bets. That's it. Can we win 20%? Remember, if you have 5 bullets and you win a full bullet, it's 20%. So here we go. Let's go the don't with the 2-unit bet. Let's pull out the Yahtzee dice in the Bubble Crafts machine and let's go. All right, we got us an 8. We're going to fight the 8 on the come out. And by the way, we're chasing $400 in losses. So there's the 8. Here's our first comeback. And we got an immediate 0.7 out. So that's actually for the Horseman a good thing. We'll win 1 on the come. We'll win 2 on the don't. There's our bullet back. We have 3 units in profit. So not quite a 4th bullet. Remember, a bullet is 5 units. So we're getting close to it. Here we go. Puck is off. 2 on the don't. And we got 7. So we're going to give some of our profit away. And again, when this happens, we put our next 3 units straight on the dome. It's a straight up, who cares bet, right? That's a 3. We get our 3 units back and check it out, right? 1, 2, 3. There's our 5 units. That's our bullet. And now we have 4 units in profit. Okay. I'm looking at comments. It looks like Skill says John skips. I can't see them all, right? I'm going through. And Dicey, why is my left elbow bending so much? Because I'm trying to keep my hands in the camera view. That's why. They don't really bend that much. I'm trying to keep everything in view on the camera. So I have like this little tiny window, Chris. That's why. All right. We have 4 units towards a 5th, right? There it is. So if you look at this, we basically are $25 away from winning a full bullet, almost 20%. Now we can go play again or say, you know what, like Ken would say, close enough is good enough. Instead of 5, we won 4. I'll take that as a win. Easy $100 in the Horseman today. Sometimes that strategy has fought, right, all the way through for 45 minutes. Today we caught a good run. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. We got 4 out of 5 units. Good deal. It won a bullet today. Now, next, skill 66. 110 inside. Let's go. Let's get a point. And we got aces. Boy, I wish it had been out there again. We would have won extra, right? We got a 6. All right, here's our point of 6. Let's go 110 inside. Remember, we got to win $125, right? Let's get $25 in. You guys keep talking about DI. Now I've got the pot all stirred up. I'm going to play crap. You guys talk about DI and what a dumbass I am. All right, here we go. 110 inside. We need 2 inside hits. We're going to take 1, hopefully, and get it pressed up, and then take another hit, and we'll wait. And that's our rhythm today. Here we go. We got a 7 out. So look at the 7s, right? So we go down right away. PSO, lose 110. Now we're going to fight from behind. We have to work really hard now to get that bullet back. It's going to take us a couple of times to make the move work. Here we go. There's a 9. Nothing like fighting from behind, right? To make your morning go. There is 25 in red. Here's your 110. Here we go. 9. All right, we have a point. That's fine. That'll pay $35, and again, we'll pay that in red. $35. We're going to drop $9 out of our rack. We're going to press the insides by 2 units each. So we're going to make the 6 and 8 look like $42. The 5 and 9 look like $35. I'll spread the 9 out, and I'll spread the 8 out so you can see what the bets are. Okay? Puck is off. So the first inside hit, jack them all up. The second inside hit, we're going to come on down. All right, there's an 8. That's the point. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. We got a 3. Nothing there. Oh, I see that 6 wanted to be a 6. Oh, boy. That was almost ugly. There's the actual 6. Okay, so $42 pays $49. I'm going to add 1 and make it pay $50. 50 for 1, we call that. And there we go. So what I'm going to do here is this. We're going to bring it back down again. We could stay here and take, my camera needs to autofocus. What's going on there? We lost our focus. Y'all see that? What happened? Give me a second here. Why did it lose focus? What happened? There it goes. It needs to like see something move. Anyway, all right. So let's bring them down. Back down to the 110 level. Bring all this back, and we'll see what we did. Okay? We added the $9. We got to take the $9 back to our rack. Let's take the $9 back. Okay? What we actually won there was this. 50, 70, $85. So an $85 win. Okay? Which is cool. Now we lost 110. So we ain't there yet. This has to go back to the rack. Right, we're going to start rebuilding the bullet that we lost. I'm going to take, there's 10, 25, there's $50 in reds. And again, I'm going to put the bullets back together as we go here. Money management. Keep the rack as tight as you can so you know where the hell you are. Now, we can decide to keep going with this shooter and try the move again from the same shooter, or we can let the shooter stop, wait till he sevens out, and then play the next shooter. In other words, we took $85 off the table on this shooter, let it happen, take the next shooter's money, right? However you want to do it. I'm going to demonstrate it that way, although, again, mathematically, it doesn't matter. The dice don't give a crap what shooter it is. We're going to play the rhythm of the table. We one-on-one shooter. We're going to wait until this guy sevens out, and there's the 7. Now the next shooter comes out, and we'll start the same process. There's an 8. Come out 8. And here we go. It's a 10. We're not on the 10. That's a 4. Also not on the 4. There's a 5. Okay, that pays $35. Here we go. $35. There's 35 plus our 9. And again, 42 on the 6. 42 on the 8. 35 on the 5 and 9. Let's get our 50 for 1 again. Please, let's get our 50 for 1. Nope, we got a 7. So we burned the whole 110. Okay. The downside of this kind of play is exactly that. You're at full risk until it works. There goes all that money. Bye-bye. I'm going to take that 5 as nickels. Here we go. Or as pennies. Let's get it again. Now look at that. We're down a couple, right? There's 25. Okay, here we go. Let's set it back up and knock them back down. Would have been nice if we would have got to work twice in a row. There's the 9 for the point. There's a 9. If we hit the point directly, right, that'll pay 35. And you know the drill by now, right? 10, 20, 35 plus 9. We'll press it up. There's 10 to the 9. 10 to the 5. 6 and 8 look like 42. Okay, here we go. Puck is off, coming back out. 6 is the point. Another 10. And 8. We got our second one. That's great. So that's going to pay 50 for 1. And again, we'll bring it all down. I'm going to take $9 and put it aside. Put it over here, actually, for our next. That'll be our next press up. Everything else, that's 25. There is that bullet to put back. There's $50 here. We got some reds over here, and again, we can let the shooter 7 out and then try the next shooter, or just jump on in and play. Either way. Today we decided we're gonna let him 7 out. There's an 8. There's a 9. The move would have worked right there, by the way. Then the dice don't care whether you're coming out or whether you're playing, right? 5. Here comes a hot roller, right? Midnight. Part of discipline is like this. It's not caring what's happening, it's just letting it happen, right? Good Lord. 9, 11, 11. Midnight, that's the tall. 8. 9. Oh my God. Can you imagine if we'd have kept playing that whole time? All right, now, new shooter. He's out, new shooter, here we go. Point is a 5. Here we go. Let's make the move happen again. 5. We hit the point immediately, right? So there's 35. 35 and 9. All right, puck is off. We're coming out. There's a 7 on the come out. Good timing right there. There's a 10. Sweet. All right, here we go. 6. 50 for 1. Actually, we'll pay $49. I don't have any ones, so there's $45. $49. Actually, I can do 50 for 1 from there, but we'll do it like this. $49. And again, we're going to come on back. Come on back. We're going to take the $9 and put it here for the next press. I'll take everything else and start getting color. There's 1, 2, 3 greens. All right. Now, there's 4 bullets plus a green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greens, or 4 greens out there. Those 4 greens plus this green means our bankroll's back to square again. We've got to the point where we are good. All right, we're good now with our original bankroll plus like $9 in profit. All right, let's get a new point, and then we'll or new shooter rather, and then we'll play it one more time. If the move works, we'll have earned a bullet. Here we go. 6. 11 yo. 4. 6. Oh, Tom Marco, that's a great point. There's the point of 10 being hit. All right, it's going out. 4. Okay. Now, same shooter, new point. We can go back in and play. I'm just again, in interest of time, let's do that. Let's go. I love this comment from Tom. Can you imagine if they would let the players spin the ball in roulette? Can you imagine the shit show it would cause on YouTube if we could all practice BI or ball influence? Oh my God. Here we go. Give me something good to eat. It's a 10. Doesn't matter. It's a 7 out, and we're out. All right. Bouncing around, baby. We're bouncing around. Let's go. I feel good about our chances, though. There's a 6. These inside plays are tough, man. Playing only the inside is very, very difficult. Very difficult. You got to get that perfect rhythm to make it work, you know? Here we go. On a point of 6. There's a 4 hard. There is a 6. We hit the point. We keep doing the point directly, right? We keep like knocking that point down. 10, 20, 30, 5 plus 9, right? There's the 8. There's the 6, 5, and 9. Let's get a new point. And that's a 7. That's a 4. Okay, here we go. Get our inside hit. 10. 7 out. My God. Talk about not getting lucky today. What's happening today is that we're hitting that point right away, right? The rhythm is hitting the point immediately, and then you have to deal with a come out roll, right? So you're not getting paid like we ought to. All right, here we go. Getting crushed today. This one here is not doing well. There's our 110 inside. We got to fight. We got to fight really hard here. Let's go. All righty, there's a 4. Come on. Couple inside numbers is all we need. There's a hard 8. Let's go. $35. 10, 20, 35, and I'll drop 9. There's the 9. There's the 5. There's the 8, and there's the 6. There's another 4. That's the point being hit. Now, again, you're going to have to, let a number get set and not get paid on it, which kind of sucks. There's a 4 again. Cool. New point. Same point. 6. All right. We got paid $49. 25. We'll do, we can do, well, I'll do it like this. 49. I'll do 25, 45, $49. Okay. We're going to go back down. We're going to take $9 aside to do the move again. We're going to color the rest of it up. There's $50. We're bringing $75 back into the rack. There's 3 straight bullets. A little bit of excess over here. And let's make the move happen again. I'm going to keep it going this time. We're not going to wait for any shooter. We're going to keep it going again. Question though, do you think it's more random or less random if I hold the button down longer? The longer I hold the button down, right, the more this thing spins. Is it less random if I do this than if I held them down? And I want that actually answered to you guys, right? That's an 8, by the way, $35, right? Was that less random? There's $35, there's the 9. Then if I held them down and let it spin for a minute, right? Is one of those two more random than the other? Right? That one I just did, that quick little, is that more or less random than that? Right? Pucks off. Or is this more random? Was that the dice changed, right? Was that less random or more random? Like honest to God, I'm not trying to be facetious. Answer the question. What's more random? Okay, the point is 8 now. Here we go. I give it just a college try. There's a 7 out. So we don't get our second hit in the second round. We're having a tough time getting the second round to win for us. That's where I think we're getting hammered here. We're getting one to work, but not the second one to work. We're down to 3 straight bullets. We got lots of work to do. I might play this thing Frank's way. Right? We might just go Frank's way and try and make it work that way. There it is. Come on out. Random is random, right? There's a 4, but we're getting a lot of 4 points, aren't we? We got an 8. And again, it's 35. Plus the 9. Here we go. 9. Great. That's 50 for 1. 50. I'll get some pennies for that nickel there. And there's the 1. Cool. 50 for 1. Let's come on back down. That worked out good. There is $9 for the next one. There's 50. There's a quarter. And there's some reds. Okay, here we go. 4. That's the point. Frank's way is no Randy's. All right, we got a 6. Here we go. Let's make her happen. Deuce. Deuce. This is a 3. This is a 9 for $35. Plus 9. All right, here we go. Let's make that move happen again and keep these bullets growing. 7 out. God, we cannot get the second round, man. We get 1 round and we don't get the second one. And we just can't get the decent enough roll to make this thing stay on the rhythm. Bummer, man. All right. I think we're going to give it one more shot here. One more shot at least. There's 100. There's 10. Man alive. We can't even get it. Can't even get it. Here we go. Coming out. There's a 10. They're both random. That's right. They're both random, but it appears more random because they're just flying all over the place, right? But if I just do that wasn't very random, right? The one die didn't even move. That's what DIs are trying to do. DIs are trying to lessen the movement. Maybe one die stays put. Like that's the idea behind it, right? And look at that. A 7, it doesn't matter, right? Boom, we're done. All right, this one here is the last hurrah. Right, last bullet. Actually, we have one more bullet left, I guess. We can burn the whole bankroll here on this one. And skill, today's not your day, it looks like. Once we catch a great run, we're going to be in a lot of hurt here, right? There's that. There is a deuce. There is the 3. Same as last time, right? 2, 3, 5. Okay, that pays 35. Let's get it to work. Let's get it to work. There's our 9. There's the 8. There's the 6, 5, and 9. I got too many reds. Okay, here we go. Yeah, they're right. 2 inside numbers is really hard to get. There's a 6. Again, the point being hit. I'm going to get change for that. We'll do 50 for 1. 50 for 1. And we'll bring it back. We'll try it again. Right? I'd like to get a clean hit, man. I want one clean run out of this damn thing. There's our $9 for next time. That's a quarter. All right, let's go. Come on out. Midnight. 4. That's the point. 2. There's an 8. Can we get this thing to work twice in the same shooter for the first time ever? I don't know. There's our 8 goes to 42, 6 goes to 42, 5 and 9 to 35. Everything pays $50. Let's get it done. Come on. 10, of course. 5. Hell yeah, we got it. There's the $1. There's the 50. Sweetness. Finally, it worked. We have 2 bullets back in the rack. My gravy. Okay. Now, we can keep going down that same road, right? Keep playing it out, right? Or stay here and keep taking 50 for 1 for a while, right? We have a lot of choices here. We already got our bullet back, right? We can play this thing through, right? Or come down and do it again. If we come down and do it again, we're going to take $44 off the table, effectively. So let's do that. Let's do one time. We'll take the $44 off the table. Right? This should be $44 out here. 20. There's 25, 40, and 4. I'm going to drop 2 out of my rack, make those green chips, and bring them back over here. I'll put the whites down over here. Now we're going to do this move one more time on this shooter, and then we're going to stay there and work a collect. Right? There's a 7 out. Doesn't matter anyway. We stayed out here, and we get exactly what you expect. All right. We can do it one more time. I guess it's still right. Wow. Inside play is hard, man. I say it all the time. I love the inside plays, but I also hate the inside plays because they are so hard to get 2 inside hits. Coming out. This is going to be a 4. Boy, the 4's been the point almost every time. So many times. 10. 9. Okay, $35. 10, 20, 35, plus 9, 8, 6. All right. What is it, a 10? A 5. Awesome. All right, 50 for 1. Thank you, baby. 50 for 1. Okay, 50 for 1. Come back down. And we'll do it again. This time, as the move works, we'll plan to stay there. Let's make those look like quarters. All right, that's two quarters. Fix the rack. All right. Here we go. Jesus. All right. Well, I guess this is what's happening, right? Every single time we can't get that second pop, man, right? This is the last shooter for this strategy. I'm going to give it one more crack, and then we're going to call it. We're going to pump it, give it the what do you call it? The CPR. We haven't had like really that one shooter was like a little bit. I should go to the outside. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah. Again, I'm just trying to show the strategy, right? The inside play. There's a 9. There's a 6. $35. 10, 20, 35, plus 9. Here we go. 5. That pays 50 for one. Awesome. All right, that time it worked. Again, we're going to come down. There's the 9 in case we need it again. There's 25. And take these, make that a quarter, and we have 2 bullets back in the rack. Oh, we have 1 bullet. Almost 2 bullets. All right, come on. Make it happen. 5. 10, 20, 35 plus 9. Here we go. No, Ken, I was never up. We went down the first shooter and never went down. No, we never got up. I might have been up $3 at one point. But we had fought back to where, oh, God, here we go again. Fought back to be almost tied, I think, at one point and never really got it. So there it is. That's it. I'm going to call it here. We're going to give it the old it didn't work. No, you know what? We have to give it one more shot. I got to be fair. We'll go down the 5th bullet. 5th bullet. I need to get some more whites. There's the 9. Yeah, we can't get even. Can't even get even. Yeah, I will. It's 7. Was that a come out 7? Yeah, we're on a come out. Sorry, we're on a come out. That's the 10. All right, here we go. I'm trying to see if these things can hold their own, right? Can these strategies actually win a unit or a bullet or whatever, right? On their own speed, can they do it? And what you're finding is that if it goes right, they can. Most of the time, the answer is no. If you go down early, that's the big thing, right? When you go down quick, you got no shot. Like, that's the thing with craps. If you go down super quick, there's 50 for one on that 6, you've almost got no shot of coming back unless your strategy is the perfect grind, right? And that's what we're finding. When you watch these things happen, you go down right away, boy, oh boy, you might as well just send them a note, man. There's $50. All right, here we go. Here we go. That's going to be a 9, $35. All right, $35. 10, 20, 30, 5, 9, 5. I'm going to get whites for that one. 8 goes to 42. And I'm actually light a little bit, aren't I? 5. Ah, crap. I gotta go into a 25 to get nickels. That sucks. All right, 25. All right, there we go. The 6 meter back up. All righty. Yeah. So Frank is saying regress to 66. I can do that, right? Again, this strategy, as it's played, we're just pulling the move off a number of times. I'm not trying to regress and keep playing. I'm trying to pull the move off, right? The move makes $80 a shot. We're going to make it make $80 every single time. All right, 6. Boom, 50 for one. There's 1. There's 50. Right? So the move works. We come back down. Right? We're not here to keep playing some other way. We're here to make the move work again. And can that move generate its own steam to get you out of the hand? That's what I'm testing with these things. And I'm working them that way. I'm working them in such a way that can this thing go boom and boom and boom and boom, rinse and repeat to make it work, right? Not trying to worry about the hot roll, worrying about can the process. Now, if I come down to 66 inside, right? Or what? Here's a possibility, right? It doesn't matter, the 7. We could have taken the $35 hit and got the 4 and 10, right? And played it out that way. But I want to make the move work. And again, we can't get it to work twice in a row anyway. So here we are. We're down to 2 bullets. Let's call it here. Right? We lost 3 bullets. So that's $375. So 3 75, add to the loss pile. So that strategy, fail. Now we're going to go to duck and cover, which is the same idea, but you'll find that the risk reduction makes it a little better. Or a little more, what do you call it? A little more palatable. And here we go. Duck and cover. All right, we are 5. And we're 110. This one's not going to press. This one's just going to regress. Again, if you go PSO, you're going to get screwed, right? 7. There it is, right? So here, again, first bullet goes completely down, right? You get a 0.7 out. You're down 110. All you can do now is pray to God that you get a good run, right? It's brutal. It's brutal. 4. Losing your first bullet on the first shooter. Awful rhythm, right? Another one. Look at that. 2 straight PSOs. We're down 220, and we haven't even gotten our drink yet. Not even, right? My gracious. Let's get our nickels. Man. Puck is off. 2 straight 0.7s, and you got to really, really work now, right? This thing is going to have to do some serious work. There's a 5. Oh my God. 3 straight. 330 down the drain. Just like that. Where's the horseman when you need it, right? The horseman would have been crushing this thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. My God. Woo! The 6. Can we get 1 hit, maybe? Maybe 1? 1 hit. Come on, 1 hit. An 8. Hey, we got a hit. Look at that. $35. Oh, I don't even know what to do. How do I pay? How do I pay a bet again? I forgot how to pay myself. $35. Let's take the 9 down to 10. Let's recover this thing. I might have been up $9, right? I might have been up $9, Ken. I don't know if that was the exact number, but yeah, it might have been 9, and I probably should have been out. But again, the goal is, can the strategy win a bullet? If it can't win a bullet back, it ain't worth fucking playing. That's what it comes down to, right? So all these things. Ultimately, if you can't get it done, you can't get it done, right? There's a 5 for $35, right? It's telling you, right, what the capabilities of a strategy are. Is it capable of coming back after a loss? Here, we're out of the hand. This one here, finally the 4th shooter, we're playing for free finally. Now we can actually play this thing out. And there's an 8. All right, $35. 25, 35. Okay, cool. We're bringing it down to the rails there. Looks like 12. Bring back 50. 8. Great. It pays 15 for 1. 15 for 1. Looks like 20. We'll just go to, I'll drop a nickel, take it to 30, just because I want to make change. All right, 8's it back at 30. Here we go. And Ken asked me if I play the Fantastic 5, right? Honest with yourself, is the strat good enough to be in the 5, right? That's the question. This is why we're doing it, right? It seems like it's a good strategy, right? But does it belong in the Fantastic 5 or not? That's a great question. And that's kind of what we're figuring out, right? Some of these things have got no business being here. They're fun ways to play, but they're not reliable. Now, again, any right side play, that's going to get you, right? This round, we ended up ahead. So we're okay with that. Here we go again. That was a good round, right? Skill, I know you're trying to defend your strategy. It got tore up last week too. Don't forget, it lost 2 days in a row last week too. The 66 lost a bankroll 3 times now, right? And again, it's not its fault. It's this, right? It's PSO, PSO, PSO. You can't fight back from that. It's almost impossible to fight back from all those 0.7s. This one here, look at us. We started out here, 330 in the hole, right? It's going to take a miracle to get out of this thing. It just is, right? And I'm not doom and glooming. There's a 6, by the way. That pays 35, 25, 35. Let's make the 5 look like 10. Let's turn the puck off and let's go. Yeah, these are fun ways to play, right? There is potential here, right? You'll see it. There's a 7 on the come out. Let's get a number. There's a 9. There's potential here to make it. That's a 7. So this time, no. We got 1 hit out of the 2 we needed, but the risk ends up being half because we took $50 off the table, right? So that's the advantage of this one versus the skill 66 is that. Let's go 110 again. In a world of hurt here, I just have a bad Wednesday. Another one. Look at this crap. Good Lord. How many is that? So we had 5 straight PSOs and I think 1 time where we had 1 hit and nothing. Right? So here we go. Last bullet. Last bullet on the train. Last bullet. 8. Yeah, I would not call these paychecks. Right? There we go. You got a 6. That's $35. 25, 35. We'll take the 5 down to 10 and bring 50 to the rack. We got a 10, which doesn't matter. Tony Leo is in the house. There's a 4. There's a 4. There's a 6. 35. All right, we're out of the hand. That's good. Got our 2 hits. The 9 looks like 10. We got 1 bullet left. Super ugly, right? 7 out. And then there it is. We end up tying on that guy again. So this is the last shot right here. Last one. The last one. And we're done. Either we get it or we don't. Here we go. Tino says, yum. This is complete donation today, right? And a 6. That's the point. $35 winner, though. Make the 9 come down a little bit. We're going to come back out. That's a 7 on the come out. That's a 5. We'll call that a 5. It's a leaner, but it's a 5 to me. And a 7 right there. Another straight up 1 hit and out, and that's it. That strategy loses 500 and whatever this is. So 675 minus 75, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, so this is $500. So there's another nickel. Boom. Today is a take it in the rear day, man. We're getting destroyed. All right, moving on. What's the next strategy? The next one is one that so far, knock on wood, is undefeated. Not surprisingly, it's a grinder that goes undefeated, right? These ones here that need special conditions to win are going to be much harder. We're going to go to the pass line parlay. This was nice and easy. And I think I told Waylon yesterday we were going to baccarat this thing. We can. All we're going to do here is try for 3 in a row on the line. That's it. 3 in a row on the line and be done. There's a 6 on the come out. 3 straight up parlays. 10. 11. That is a 7. Okay, we lose the first one. Now we can baccarat and do it this way or stay on the pass line. I'm going to stay on the pass line, but we can go back and forth. Right? 7 on the come out. So that pays, and we parlay it. 6. Back to the point of 6. I didn't take it. 7 out. Boy, these dice today are not playing nice at all. All short. 9. I don't think we had but 1 roll that went past maybe 5 or 6, right? It's been horrible. 8. 7 out. Oh my goodness, 3 units down. Can we do it? There's an 8. 11 yo. 3. 5. 11. Come on, 8. Let's get an 8. There it is. All right, we've won on the pass line. Great. We'll stack it on up. Another 8. Let's get a repeat. 7. Okay, here we go. Another 8. Are you kidding me? How funny is that, right? 5. Another 7. Gee whiz. I'll tell you what, today, boy, these rolls today have all been garbage. There hasn't been really one shooter, I think, that's gone past 5 or 6. Better day to be on the don't than on the do for sure, right? All righty, let's get a 5. 11. 5. Cool. Hit the point. We'll stack it up. Good one, Dan. There's a point of 4, which is not good for this bet here, but we'll see. 7 out. All right, now we're into bet number 7, which means if we get it here, we're going to tie, right? Get back our bullets, but if we don't, we're going to have to do the move twice now. There's a hard 10. There's a 7 out, so it didn't work. Yeah, we're down 7. So now we're going to have to pull a move off 2 times. An 8. Almost 9 o'clock, too. I'm going to have to get out of here. We may call the show for time today. 11. And 8. Okay, well, we got that win. We'll stack her up. A 9. How about a 5, 4, 9, huh? Come on. Give it to me. Nope. There's a 4, by the way. There's a 10. Come on. An 8. Come on, 9. I know you're in there. 5, a 3, 2. There's an 11. Come on. You can totally do it. Nope, there's a 7. Boy, we haven't gotten past 2. Very tough today. Very tough today. Should we switch sides? Yeah, call in dice data, right? There's a midnight. We lose right there. We're going to be down 2 full bullets on this one. There's another 8. There's my freaking 9 from before. 3. 6. 11. 7. All right, let's go to the don't for a minute. Watch. You ready to switch the table? Here, we're just going to switch the rhythm of the table. I'm going to go to the don't, and we're going to catch nothing but points now. You watch. Nothing but amazingness, right? There goes the 10. There's the 7. Look at that. Maybe we're going to do the right move here, right? There's come out. I don't know what ace deuce going to come out. What do you think? Nope, it's a 7. We'll say the don't one more time. Another 7. You got to be freaking kidding me. All right, back to the do we go. Back to the original. It'll be fun to kind of try and mix it up a little bit, but now we got a 4 for the point, of course. Yeah, hey, we're trying to use the full bone, right? That's the thing. You use your full bankroll, right? The bankroll's here to win, right? We talk about bankroll leveraging all the time. If you're not using your bankroll, right? Now, one thing we can monkey with is a ladder. I don't have enough money to do it, but I'll show you what that would look like in a minute. 5. There's a 5. There's a 9. There's a 9. Another 9. 8. Come on, 4. Midnight. I'm gonna burn my batteries out. 6. 10. Jeez. 10. Another 10. 3 10s in a row. 4. Okay, we got it. There's a 4. Boom. Puck is off. Let's go. 6 on the come out. Let's hit it. Let's get our point. Another 6. That's great. Bam. Yes, Dice Daddy. A bullet would be 6 for sure. I've got them set as 5 because I'm lazy, but you should get 6 or 7 units is going to win 7 units. I may go for the double parlay here. So there's that one. If I don't catch it, then we'll do the big thing. We'll do the big, I'll show you how ladders work on this one. There's that. There's a 10. I need a 6. I need a 6. Come on. A little 33 here, huh? Hey, 4, 2, 6. Bam, we got our 4. That would be the 3-leg parlay winning. Now, what that does for us, though, in our situation is it doesn't put us quite back home again, right? We're going to have 1. We're back to 4 bullets. We're still down a full 1, right? Because we had lost, right? We had lost so many times. We only covered back to 1. Now you could ladder through it and say, okay, well, if I lose a bullet, right, a full bullet, from then on I go to 2 unit sizes, right? And I start with 2 instead of 1. If I go down a bullet, right, and that way when the move works, you'll recover the whole thing. I wouldn't ladder every single bet. I'd ladder when I'm down a bullet. So maybe now that we're down 1 bullet, we'll go to a 2 size bet, right? It'll accelerate the loss if we don't catch it, right? But let's see what happens here, right? Let's see if we can get lucky. There's a 7 on the come out that wins and it stacks right away, right? So that's level 1, level 2. Another 7. That wins 4, right? So 2 legs out of the 3 legs, we're done, right? If I rebuild the rack, right, there's 4 bullets, there's 5 bullets, and I'm back in profit. Capiche? Now, that said, we were only 2 legs in, right? So we had our first parlayed, our second one, parlay that one. We need to be here for the 3rd win, right? This thing is a 3-move strategy. You follow me? So we have recovered. We could start back over with 1. We're going to finish the sequence right here. Whatever happens here, we're going to call it because it's almost 9 o'clock. Right? Come out 7. So that's it. So it ends up being 1, 2, and 4. It ends up being a win, right? The ladder here ends up saving our bacon. And again, I'd only ladder this one in that situation, right? Where you're down the full bullet. There's 225 is the profit on that one, right? I'd only ladder if I'm down a bullet and go up to a 2 unit. If I go down 2 full bullets, then you go to a 3 unit bet, and that would be the end of it. So bullet 1, right, would be 6 or 6. I would say your bullet should be 6 size. So bullet 1 is 150. Bullet 2 is 300. Bullet 4 is 450, right? And that's the way I would ladder it up. Give it 3 cracks, and then you're done, right? And there it is. There's 225 and wins on that one. The Horseman won $100 today, and we have time for the Dallas Drawdown. Do we have time? We have 5 minutes for it. Okay, let's catch a point. We'll do the drawdown. There's an 8 of a point. Let's go 320 across. We'll do it 1 time. Either works or it doesn't today, right? The Dallas Draw either works or it doesn't work. Here we go. Two hits and out. And that's the whole deal. There's an 8. That pays 75 for 5. And it comes down. Points 9. 3. And an 8. Okay, $35. We're done. $35 and we done. That's it. The drawdown worked. The only one that really worked easily today, right? So let's color that one up. We'll catch our number at the end, and I'll take some questions here, right? 3. There's 300. Let's put the rack back. There's 5. There's 5. There's 5. That's your rack. There's 100. So 75, 100, and $5. So 3 times we won, 2 times we lost. Not surprisingly, the 2 sides that require multiple inside hits were the ones that went down today, right? So our profit today is $425. Our losses today were $375, right? So 375, actually plus the 500, right? So we lost 875. Let's take this as quarters, right? So we can remove, if I take my wins, this 375, that eats that up. So our net loss today is 500 minus $55. So $445. So 425.45 is the net loss for today. Awesome, right? Combine that with yesterday, and where are we? That's 100, actually. Another 100. There's greens. There's reds. There's a black. And we are down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, $905, right? All the right side stuff. All the right side stuff. Now, let me go back to the other screen and we'll talk about stuff because there's a lot of good questions out there. I want to make sure I have a little bit of time to get to them before I go to work. Let me come back over here. Let's do this or that, actually. And we'll go here. Actually, I want to go to this screen. Come on. Why is it not doing my thing? There we go. All right. Let's go here and talk through this screen here because Ken's got some questions, right? 1, it's about what strategies to put in. 2, play for any win or play for a bullet. Do you have discipline? That's the reasons, right? I think Donna might have asked a question, what should be the takeaway if they don't get it, right? This is the point, right? When you're playing craps, right, you can look for, or any game, it doesn't matter if it's craps or baccarat or roulette or whatever. It does not matter what game we're playing. I'm using craps because it's what I've got in front of me, right? If you're saying, and let's take the pass line parlay. If I bring $600, right, and I'm trying to do 6 bullets or 4 bullets of 6, right? Each bullet of 6 should win you 1 unit at some point, right? You're trying to win 1 quarter or 1 bullet, 1 set of 6. Either way, you're not going to the casino to tie. You're not going there to lose. You're going there to win something. And I think it should be something meaningful. Now, if you're going to say, I'm going to try to take these 5 bullets or 6 bullets and win 1 unit per shooter 5 times, that earns you 5 units. That's a full bullet, right? So think through that, right? That's one way of looking at discipline, right? Let me win 1 unit on a shooter, go to the next shooter, win a unit from that guy, go to the next shooter, a unit from that guy. Before you know it, you got your full bullet. That's how you can play this game, right? That's one, and you can do that in Bach or blackjack as well. Or you can say, I'm going to take this shooter and try and win a full bullet from that shooter and make the strategy work and work really hard and get a whole win out of 1 shooter and then walk, right? That's 2 totally different ways to approach the game, right? Win, walk, or win and walk. Either way. So this week I'm trying to do the bigger win. Let's win the full thing and get out. Last week it was win 1 unit per shooter and walk away. We're trying both things, right? And you're seeing, hopefully, what variance looks like. You don't always catch days where you get in that one strategy, that's that bad run of whatever it was, 5 out of 6 were 0.7 outs, right? It happens. It happened to us a week or so ago, right? That's not the norm, but it happens. And if your strategy and bankroll can't live with that, then either it's the wrong strategy to play, it's too susceptible to that, right? Or you didn't bring enough money, right? Or your discipline didn't let you walk when it was not going well. I always say this, right? If you're getting punched in the face, don't stay around and lean into it, right? Sometimes if it's not going your way, you got to stop playing, right? There's a recognition of when it's time to walk or play. I'm doing a show, so we're going to run the full bankroll as much as we can so you can see what these things are capable of, good and bad, right? I think that's a big part of the takeaway here is to watch these things go. If I don't give it a run and give it the chance to win, you're going to have a false belief that these things can work, right? Or a false sense of security. The skill 66, great idea, but you can see what happens to it, right? If you don't catch it, especially on the first one, you're fighting from behind, and it takes a lot to win from behind. It takes a lot to come back when you're down, right? Right side strategies are hard in that respect. So it's good to see these things run, and it's good to decide what's going to be in the Fab Five. Is it these five? Is it those five? Is it some combination in between, right? Some measure of what we're seeing, by the way, what works. The Horseman works. The pass line parlay ends up working almost every time. Those two things, they're super low house edge strategies, right? But we play them aggressively, right? We level up the wins, and we use the casino's money against it to win, right? So playing a grindy way, but with an aggressive kind of bent to it is what it is. Tony Leo's here today, and he's talking a lot today about, leaning into what your strengths are. And he and I have talked a lot about this, right? One of the ways that I play when I'm shooting, right, is hopping numbers that I'm throwing, right? Hopping combinations of numbers that I'm seeing, right? Because if I'm a real good DI, then I should be able to repeat at least one of the dice, like leaning into a number, right? That's a different way of looking at it. But again, what is your strategy good for, right? Does the skill 66 belong in the Fantastic Five? Does the duck and cover belong there? I don't know. I can tell you this, the pass line parlay sure as hell does. That's a great way to play. The Horseman, especially when you level up your bets, and if you were to bring a ladder to the Horseman, you could afford to do it, it's even more powerful, right? I'll show you the laddered version of the Horseman tomorrow. It's a very interesting way to play it. Again, just like the parlay. When you see the laddered version of the parlay like you saw today, it does a lot of good when the move works out. If the move doesn't work out and you're laddered up, the bankroll goes away twice as fast. Anyway, there's all of that. Let's see. I'm not wedded to the 7-1 parlay. 3-1 is fine. Begin again. For sure, JR. So let me go down to the table again. Because that's a really great point. I got to do it. I'll just do it here. You don't need the full table. But let's take a look at what this looks like in the rack, right? Because you could take because a 3-leg parlay looks like this. Let's just take one unit out. Okay, let's just pretend that it wins the first time, right? So a 3-leg or a 2-leg parlay, right? It wins and it wins, right? That's a 3-unit win, right? So if you win one, stack it up, win a second time, it's a 3-unit play. It pays 3-1. It pays 3-1. No other bet out here is doing that, right? Paying 3-1, right? And all you need is a 7-7 on the come out or a 7-11 on the come out to make that work, or a 7 come out and make your point. Doesn't take much to do this. Now, if it's your first bullet, if you have a bullet, and again, I think this bullet should be size 6. I think somebody said that, and it's right. So if your bullets, let's actually set this thing up like we should. The first bullet would be a 6 size bullet. The second one, if they're $50 cracks at it, is twice. That's $150. The second one becomes $300. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So your second laddered bullet is $300. Right, because now they are 2 units each, and your third one is 3 units each. Right, so it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So your third level is that, where there are 3 units each. And if you're going to ladder up the parlay system, it looks like that. Bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3. Right? That's how you ladder it up if you're going to play it that way. But know what they win. You got to know what happens. Let's take it at all 3 levels, right? If it's a single unit and you're going to just take a parlay and win the parlay, it wins you 3 units. If you're going to do a 3-leg, that's a 2-leg parlay. A 3-leg parlay, 3-leg parlay. It wins, and it wins again, right? That's a 7-unit win. Okay, so a 3-leg parlay equals 7 units if you can pull that move off, right? Now the 4-leg parlay is the one. That's the one we're begging for. The 4-leg parlay looks like this. It pays once and it stacks up. It pays twice and it stacks up. It pays 3 times and it stacks up. Now the 4th leg wins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units, right? It pays 8 units. That, my friends, is 15 to 1. 5, 10, 15 to 1. Okay, so the 1-leg parlay, or 2-leg parlay rather, pays 3 to 1. The 4-leg pays 8 to 1. So the 3-leg pays 8 to 1. The 4-leg pays 15 to 1. So if you want to really lean in, right? Really lean in and say, and I'll give you the next level of this thing, right? You've heard David talk about this in baccarat and in blackjack, right? He plays a 6 to 1 in blackjack. Looks for a $5 table, plays it 6 to 1, right? 6 to 1. The next one of these pays 16 units. Stack it up, and the 6th one pays 32 units, right? You're winning 64 to 1 on a 6-leg parlay. If you can catch the magic run, right? Here's your runs though, right? 3 to 1, 7 to 1, 15 to 1, 2, 3, and 4 legs, right? And again, if you're on your first bullet, your first chip in your first bullet, and you catch the 3 right away, you can walk with that 8-unit win, or you can go, you know what? Lean into it and go for the big one. You only used 1, right? It's interesting. I think that's where winners and losers are born and lost, right? Is how you're going to play with the casino's money, right? And I hate to say that, it's your money, but how do you play and how do you leverage your wins, right? That's where the difference is made. And that's why the horseman, when you level up after a win, right? You play the horseman and you win all 3 bets. Guess what? A lot of times my next bet is 3 units on the don't and 2 units in the come. I take the win, I use it right again. Bam, let's go right after him with it. Let's go right after it, right? Catch the run if you can catch it. Use their money against them. Use the wins against them. I think that's an important way to view stuff. Anyway, those are the takeaways. Those are your takeaways. I think, and this is where I think, like I said before, let's go back to this screen here. Yeah. That's, I think, where the separation comes from, right? And again, to Ken's point, what works, what doesn't work, what can you do that with, what can't you do that with? If you're going out there 110, or the guy that's doing this guy here too, right? And again, I'll make fun of him because I can. The math guys that say, got to play pass line with max odds. Okay, cool. Pass line, and it's a 6, and you go max odds, right? 5x behind the number, right? You think that's less risky than this, than 110 inside? It's the same thing. It's actually more risky, right? He has all his eggs on one number. You have at least half the numbers covered and have a chance to win something. Now, granted, he's going to win 175 down here. You're going to win 35 up here. So the win is way different, but the risk level is the same. Anytime you're pure right side, you're susceptible to what we saw today, to those massive PSO streaks, and we don't want that, right? But it's going to happen to you. Anyway, there it is. I am out. I got to get out of here. So it's 9:00 and I'm past my starting time. So I'm going to run to the end here. I think we've done all the Q&A stuff. I can go. See you later, Ken. Skill, I'm glad you like that. It does take a few hits to get it all done. But yeah, there we go. And JR, thanks for getting me into the rabbit hole. I appreciate you. Everybody have a great day. Remember this, right? Fear is what if, faith is even if. Even if I'm down $900, I have faith that the way that I play especially on my grinders, will get this money back. I have faith, right? I have faith that this thing here doesn't hate me the way that it did today. Ready? Out of here. You have a great day. Love y'all. See you Thursday. Bye, everybody.